Hey everybody, it's Jason with Parallel Reality coming back with you today with an article from the Daily Wire that I thought was uneffing believable. I was just like, I need to talk about this because this is just ridiculous, especially with all the stuff that's been going on with Harvard lately that's been in the news. This is definitely something we're talking about, and it's from January 10th. And again, from the Daily Wire, it says Harvard hosts summer program at Palestinian University dominated by Hamas. There's no way I can't see this going totally well for everybody. And the subheading says Ivy League students set to travel to West Bank to learn how to combat settler colonialism at university affiliated with terrorists. This is a great idea. And by great, I mean this is really, really bad. So, this Harvard University will host a summer program where students will be briefed on settler colonialism at a Palestinian university that called for glory to martyrs after the October 7th terrorist massacre in Israel and has a student body that overwhelmingly elected a Hamas affiliated bloc to run its student government. Again, no way this can turn out anything but horrific. It says the embattled Ivy League institution's Palestine social medicine course. Social medicine? What the hell is that? It says we'll send Harvard students, I cannot talk, to Birzeit University in the West Bank, according to the program's website. It explains that the 3-week intensive summer course is designed to introduce students to the social, structural, political, and historical aspects that determine Palestinian health beyond the biological basis of disease. Sounds interesting. Even if it was American, like, it sounds boring. Summer faces mounting criticism for its response to blatant anti Semitism on its campus since the Hamas terrorist attack. Several Harvard students told the Daily Wire that they were concerned about their school's relationship with Birzeit University, given its history and alignment with terrorist groups. The curriculum content will include hearing from health practitioners, academics, and activists about various topics, including settler colonialism and manifestations in Palestine, and health and racism, the website adds. So basically, nothing that's going to ever help anybody ever because it's all ideologically aligned as opposed to like just being, about health. And settler colonialism, Jesus, left wing crap. Leftist crap, I should say. There's a spokeswoman for Harvard defended its program, of course they did, in a statement to the Daily Wire stating that Birzeit is a public institution governed by an autonomous board of trustees with no political, religious, or sectarian affiliation. Right. Okay, here's where Bill Lumberg from Office Space goes, right. Like, it's Hamas. Obviously, there's a religious affiliation. Okay. And I would say political as well, but sure, whatever. It's not. Sure, guys. Not like Harvard's ever lied about anything before. This is, and that the program was co-developed by the World Health Organization. Oh, even better. It just gets better and better. Let's find all the worst people possible and put them in the same place to make this program. Says Birzeit University students pledge allegiance to Hamas and are arrested for terrorist activities. Says Birzeit University student population voted overwhelmingly for a Hamas-affiliated bloc in its student government elections for a second year in a row in May. The Islamic bloc won 25 of the 51 seats with 4,481 votes in the race that had a 77% voter turnout, according to the Jerusalem Post. The bloc said its victory proves students favor the option of resistance against Israel and disapprove of the Palestinian Authority's policies. So the option of resistance against a country that is separate from you, that, like, essentially, like, you're in your own place, they're in their own place. What are you resisting? Anyway, says Hamas leader Ismail Haniyeh, who hopefully very shortly will be liquidated by the Israeli Defense Forces, praised the victory and spoke to participants at its celebrations over the phone, claiming the victory shows Hamas is unbreakable in the West Bank, Middle East Monitor reported. The campus elections are closely watched as a peek into the political leanings of Palestinians in the West Bank, where the Palestinian Authority has not held national elections since 2006, so it's an authoritarian dictatorship. Says the student government president, Abdul Majid Hassan, and 7 other students were arrested by the Israel Defense Forces during a raid in September, according to the university. The group is accused of planning a terror attack to which some of the suspects confessed, according to the Times of Israel. So, like I said, all good people. So it says David Mills, the co-director of the Harvard program, condemned the raid during the presentation on the experiences of past participants. Of course he did, because again, it's Harvard and they're just anti-Semites. Says we condemn the Israeli raid of Birzeit University on September 24th and stand in solidarity with our colleagues at Birzeit University, he said. These raids violate the right of Palestinians to education, freedom of speech, and freedom of association. Never mind the fact that they were planning a terrorist attack and confess to it, you absolute balloon. Because in 2022, Birzeit student activists were arrested for helping to launder money from Gaza to Hamas to Hamas members in Turkey to finance terrorist attacks, the Jerusalem Post reported. So again, all the best people. About 60 to 70% students are imprisoned at any given time for security offenses, according to a 2017 feature by the Financial Times. So Stephanie Simon, Harvard's Dean for Communications and Strategic Initiatives, acknowledged that the student body's association with Hamas, but said it has not affected its program. It probably should, as in, like, you shouldn't have the program anymore because, again, terrorists. The student government elections at Burzit typically involve candidates affiliated with each of the major political parties in the region, including Hamas, she said. So we're going to move the goalpost and or make excuses. These student government elections are not germane to and have not affiliated the FXB's centers work with the scholars and students at Burzit's Institute of Community and Public Health. Nevertheless, Harvard Chan School will continue to really evaluate the collaboration with Burzit, Simon concluded. This radical university has a history of honoring prominent terrorist alumni. Can't say that's anything that even remotely surprises me given what I've already read here. Says Birzeit University, widely considered the most prestigious Palestinian university, called for glory for martyrs on October 10th, just days after Hamas attack on civilians in southern Israel. Says Birzeit also expresses its sincere condolences to its staff and students who, every day of the ongoing war in the Gaza Strip, lose loved ones and relatives and calls on the world to halt this onslaught. The tweet reads. What am I talking about? This is the tweet reads, glory for martyrs, recovery for wounded ones, and freedom for the captives. Yeah, never mind the fact that all our people are doing all the illegal things, but whatever. The school's website describes itself as a thorn in the side of the occupation, of which there isn't one, so I don't know what they're talking about, and says it is transforming Palestinian higher education through its impact on community awareness, culture, and resistance. Can't be resisting something that's not there for you to resist, but sure, whatever. Says the university also openly honors prominent terrorists. In 2022, Birzeit University Sports Education Club hosted an athletic competition named after one of its many prominent terrorist alumni, Marwan Barghouti, who received his master's degree in 1998. Barghouti is considered a leader of the First and Second Intifada and was convicted of killing 5 people. Again, all the best people. Birzeit University's Kamal Nasser Hall is named after a leader of Black September, the terrorist organization responsible for kidnapping and killing 11 Israeli athletes at the 1972 Munich Olympics. So more good people. On November 24th, 2022, the Islamic Bloc hosted a reception for new students titled Ayash's Army after Birzeit electric engineering graduate Yahya Ayash. Ayash is nicknamed the Engineer, according to memory, which is, I want to say, is it that Middle Eastern thing that was mentioned before, whatever. But yeah, there's some I don't remember exactly what that stands for, so I apologize. Says and is known for revamping the production of suicide bombs. Again, another good person. He is credited with helping to kill nearly 100 Israeli civilians because again, he's a good person. This is who we want to support, of course. To all you dumbass protesters out there. Says the event was hosted the day after 22 Israelis were injured and 2 killed from bombs detonated at a bus stop by terrorists. Fathi Shakaki, a founder of the terrorist group Palestinian Islamic Jihad, and Ahlam Aref Ahmad Al Tamimi, who helped bomb an Israeli pizza shop in 2001, are also alumni. So they produce the best people, don't they? As in a 2014 prisoner release deal celebration hosted by the Islamic Bloc on campus, Al Tamimi addressed the crowd through a recorded message in which she reminisced, oh, it's a she, okay, about her time as a student and thanked Hamas's Izzeddin al-Qassam brigades, according to Middle East Monitor. And that's what that memory is, Middle East Monitor or then RI something. It says in 2021, a parade celebrating Hamas's 34th anniversary was held on campus against the school's COVID-19 gathering restrictions. Because, of course, if you're doing basically, if you're celebrating any of the worst stuff, that's when you're able to celebrate. It was during the restrictions. This is where mass students wearing the Hamas banner beat up university security guards, according to the Jerusalem Post. And the school announced it temporarily suspended one student involved. A good job, guys. Only one person got punished for it. Morons. As Birzeit University had an official policy banning Israeli Jews from being on campus, which came to light in 2014 when a left-wing reporter for Haaretz was removed from a conference. It is unclear if this policy is still in place. So these are the folks that always talk about there's apartheid and like some sort of segregation going on in Israeli society, which there isn't, and you cannot find evidence of it because it's not a thing that's actually happening, except for just the propaganda sent out by the Palestinians. But here is an actual policy that bans Israeli Jews from being on campus, and you're never going to hear anyone from that side say, "Oh wait, we actually are the ones that have apartheid." Okay, yeah, or some sort of segregation. And by the way, Haaretz is a very left-wing Israeli newspaper, and they'd be on the side of these folks, but nope, doesn't matter to them. So it says she and her colleagues were afraid, she told me, that students would break into the conference hall and protest over my absence, Amira Haas wrote, recounting the incident. Palestinian citizens of Israel who teach at Israeli universities are not subject to the same policy, which she is 100% correct about. So since Harvard's association with Birzeit. Says Harvard launched its relationship with Birzeit University last summer when its FXB Center for Health and Human Rights brought the first group of students to the West Bank for the program. The program will also include site visits in Israel, according to the website. That probably should be changed because there could be a risk for something more, say, explosive to happen. Says the faculty for the program. Wow, I screwed that one up. Faculty for the program are all affiliated with the FXB Center, including Yara Assi, an assistant professor at the University of Central Florida, who wrote a letter in November with colleagues calling for a ceasefire and centering Palestine in the classroom. Yeah, no thanks. Graham Wispelwey, that's a hell of a name, who will teach during the program and also teaches at Harvard Medical School, published an op-ed in Al Jazeera in November calling the war in Gaza a U.S.-backed genocide, which it's not. Again, doesn't fit first of all, dude, if you're that smart, you should probably know what a genocide means, and it's not this. Can't have a genocide when the population of the place supposedly being genocided keeps increasing and has for 30 years, but okay, sure. Says he went on to accuse Western doctors of being collaborationists with colonial violence if they engage in passive silence. So this guy is just a leftist ideologue, and I just disregard anything he says. All of the program's faculty members, Mills, Nancy Wispelway, they spell his name two different ways, Wispelwee, Wispelway. Okay, just a heads up there. As well as two others named William Hamoudi and Osama Tenus joined in an academic article in 2022 claiming that health equity, which isn't a thing, for Palestinians is possible only with the abolition of all oppressive structures that ensure Jewish supremacy, which is pretty much not a thing. I mean, it's about as prominent of a thing as white supremacy, which is to say it really isn't, and Palestinian inferiority from the Jordan River to the Mediterranean Sea. Okay, so for that was the from the river to the sea thing. So that guy's another ideologue, in his opinion, immediately discounted. During the information webinar about last year's program, one of the 2023 participants said she learned a lot about the social medicine framework on her trip, claiming that public health is inextricable to the ongoing Israel settler colonial project and the ongoing dispossession and erasure from their voices. Okay, erasure, that's a new word. Um, but okay, that's another just here's words that I learned somewhere else, but okay, and I'm just going to repeat them because I don't have any thoughts of my own. So the Harvard spokeswoman said that leadership at Harvard Chan School and the FXB Center unequivocally condemned Hamas's brutal attacks on Israel and its taking of hostages. Says this year's program is set to take place from July 29th to August 17th with a cost of $2,750 per participant. Birzeit University did not return a request for comment. Of course they didn't. Anyway, this is all not going to end up well, in my opinion. But so, what do you guys think about Harvard hosting a summer program at a Palestinian university dominated by Hamas, especially in light of the last few months and what's been going on with Harvard? It seems like a good combination, doesn't it? Let me know in the comments below. Like, share, subscribe, and I'll talk to you soon.